Solana Saga hits 100,000. Of course, all of this is going to play into a big strategy around holding this phone in the future. If you guys are brand new to this, you definitely want to watch this one. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. All right, before we get started, let's thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem. Self-custody, one of the best ways to go is the Tangem wallet. All you have to do is go over to tangem.com. You can yourself start your own self-custody journey. And the way to do it is just get your tokens off the exchanges. If you're in here for the bull run and you're ready to start really getting into self-custody and understand how that works, all you have to do is visit Tangem. Hit that Get Tangem up there in the right-hand corner. It'll take you into the 3-card set. Get that one. It's the best way to go. Use our link down below. It does help the channel. We appreciate it. All right, so a couple of things I want to hit on here today, and that is, of course, Solana hits 100,000 Saga phone orders in less than 30 days. This is a pretty significant achievement when you think about something that is an ecosystem way outside that of Apple and Android. To me, this is the beginning, I think, of something very special in Web3, and you guys are going to start to understand why this matters going forward. Now that we've hit the milestone, the founder window, that's the founder window, and pre-order price of $450 will close in 48 hours. So basically you have 2 days to get this done. So make sure and use our link down below. It gets you in there. We have some kind of interesting ideas around how this might work. If you're over there at Solana Mobile, this would be perfect for all of those on the leaderboard that would have access to those wallets to do airdrops, special offers, things like free access to our Diamond Circle, things like that we could benefit to our own people that are using our link. So make sure and do that. Hopefully this is going to start open up a lot of opportunity in the Saga phone. I'll show you some of that here in a second. I want to go over to a clip because this was Marques Brownlee, big YouTuber, probably one of the best tech YouTubers out there. And he's still, not yet completely orange-pilled in a way. I guess I should say purple-pilled in this particular case. Listen into what he had to say.
Listen, I hear you. I'm not ignoring you. I hear you. There are a lot of people, mainly on Twitter, mainly with crypto in their bio, who have a lot of thoughts about how the resale price of this phone has gone up so much because you got to spend like $2,000 to get one on eBay now. Did you know that?
Yeah,
they're like reselling
$2,500
because all the bonk and all the. What is the crypto Claynosaurs that you get? And
the free honeybee toy or whatever?
No. It's called Beamium. Get it right.
All of the stuff that you get with the phone at the moment is very valuable.
Money.
All of the limited edition NFTs and stuff that you get with the phone are actually quite valuable at this point. So if you didn't buy the phone, you missed out on a bag. Here's the thing. That doesn't make it a good phone.
All right, so first of all, I would disagree with that. Any phone that gives you these kinds of benefits, these kinds of rewards, is a good phone in the sense of if its value is greater than that of the phone's cost. So that in itself, along with the ecosystem that is being really built around Solana, I think is going to change the way marketers go to market, the way brands will start to reward customers for those who have the capacity to be able to do something like an airdrop into wallets, all that good stuff that really is going to accelerate way beyond a funky NFT or something coming from a game, things of that nature. These are going to become real world assets that are being dropped into Solana phones of the future. And I think that's going to be the biggest advantage of it. Here's a clip, I think, that kind of explains why this matters going forward. Listen in.
Why? Why did you get the Solana phone? I
had been kind of like fudding Solana for a while because they were kind of like the brunt of a lot of jokes last year with all their downtime and whatnot, but the community just kept on roaring back, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to check my pride here for a second and like do a little buy-in. And so I wanted to be a part of the inside group. Yeah, I got the bonk, and then literally the thing just like prints money. I just get airdrops all the time. I did the Jupiter airdrop through it. I use this as more of a business phone. It does give you that gateway to having just a better crypto experience than, again, like on an iPhone where you're kind of in this like two-factor authentication hellscape.
Do you think that a Web3 phone could outperform the phones that we use today sometime in the future?
Absolutely. There's gadget fatigue. The Saga, for all of its foibles, the Saga kind of keys in on that. I could really see, just because of the deep pin infrastructure, if you're like an Uber driver or part of the gig economy, you have just like maximized your earnings potential because you're constantly moving.
There's a lot of opportunities here that really start to expand the nature of where maybe the benefits are going to expand way beyond that of, you know, a traditional phone holder. I still think that the deep end infrastructure is still yet to really reveal itself in terms of real earning value to someone that has a phone that is Web3 capable. So if you're thinking about, you know, getting into Web3 and you want something that's a low-end phone, secondary line, go get a Helium, you know, phone number, get a discount, and then use that to earn rewards and eventually be able to put that over on your Saga phone. These are benefits I think that you guys will not, definitely not hate in the future. I want to go back to another clip here from Marques. He talks a little bit more about the Apple Vision Pro, but listen to what he had to say about this. It kind of has a little bit of relevancy. Listen in.
I love this thing. Not because it's flawless or anything. It is far from flawless, but because it's actually interesting. It's actually not fundamentally new. It's a VR headset, because I have noticed from using them both that the Quest 3 has a better, wider field of view, but it's new for Apple. And just as interesting as this individual product is the possible future that this implies. When you get a first generation product like this, you sort of automatically assume that there are goals for its future, that it'll have another generation and another one after that, and that there is some goal for what this will turn into 10 years down the road.
So, I mean, I get it, yeah, of course, but that's exactly what the Solana Saga is. That's what Web3 phones will be, is that it's for the future. It is definitely, but the cool thing is it's doing a lot now. It definitely doesn't cost $3,500, and it definitely has a lot of, I think, a lot more use cases for those that are starting to understand it. Remember, this is still a very narrow market, much like that of the Apple, you know, Vision Pro. Very narrow market, $3,500 narrow market, very limited use case, but it has a lot of upside. Exactly the same thing. Marques is a little bit of hypocrisy there on that. All right, so I have another clip here that kind of sets up Apple, you know, going into the EU. They lost the case, but they've worked their magic as they always do, and they figured a loophole, so to speak, of how they can still cause a lot of these problems that we deal with within their whole business model. So listen into what they had to say.
Just wait till you hear about their plans for compliance with the Digital Markets Act. Do you sell digital goods in your iOS app or game? Let's assume the answer is no here, that this is a free app. How many installs do we expect to get? Say our app just went viral and we got, I don't know, 5 million installs. We'll use today's terms and capabilities for now. And look at that, it's a $0 fee. I want to talk about these new capabilities and terms. So let's take a look. That's a $181,000 monthly fee. That's a $2 million a year bill because your free app went viral. That is actual insanity. You are now bankrupt. You are now out of business. You now have to pull the app from the App Store because you have no money. Hopefully the addition of these new app stores is going to help with this, right? No, absolutely not. Because this fee doesn't only apply to Apple's App Store. This applies to all of the alternative app stores that they're now being forced to support. So if they can't make more than €1 every 2 players, they are done for. There's so many other costs that still exist. There's the in-app transaction percentages. There's the cost of paying the developers to make all of this. There's this really weird rule where you have to take out $1 million plus credit line with Apple so that if things go wrong, they have a way to bill you so they can do whatever they want to do when they sue you if you don't follow the rules. Despite support for third-party app stores, Apple does not seem interested in third-party app reviews. They will still require all iPhone apps go through Apple's review, even if they're being distributed on different stores. So crazy enough, Apple might still choose to block Fortnite, even if they allow the Epic Games Store. So you can have in your sign up page for special offers, go to here, you get 50% off, go to here, lower prices offered here. These are all valid, but you can only do one of them. That is insane. Developers are also required to provide monthly accounting of qualifying out-of-app purchases. You have to give Apple access to your books in order to use this feature. And they're going to scrutinize the hell out of them and say, hey, are you sure these payments didn't come from us? Oh, and the best part, proverbial cherry on top. When you click that link, they give you this massive full screen warning that I have to zoom out to show you all of. You're about to go to an external website. Apple is not responsible for the privacy or security of purchases made on the web. I can't believe they're getting away with this. I really can't.
These are predatory business practices, and eventually this could get corrected, but even as it, whether it does or it doesn't, I think the issue really is that devs, game makers, all sorts of users, etc., are going to start to realize what is really at stake. And I think that's what's going to open up Web3 phones, especially if you look at Saga. But there's going to be others out there. I think Android eventually will come in and really start to double down on this opportunity. But dApps, I think, are going to open up in a very big way in a very short period of time. Remember how fast the App Store kind of came to market and how quickly it grew? It needed developers. Well, with that, guess what's happening? Right here, congrats to the Solana Mobile team. Developers and founding teams are now encouraged to build on mobile-first consumer applications in the upcoming Solana Hackathon. There'll be a whole track dedicated to it. This right now has 100,000 people, meaning in terms of orders. Guys, this is going to go to 500,000, 1 million. Before you know it, there's going to be enough sustained ecosystem there for devs to truly have a business on this, including games going forward. So there's going to be a lot here. I think that this really starts to benefit devs, and devs are the key here, because if you can pull the devs away from the big ecosystems like Apple and Android, you have something there. And I think that's what Solana Mobile has been able to do. And Saga, of course, is going to be interesting. I'm going to go to another clip because this is another factor that gets into the concept of payments. This is talking about Visa. Listen to what they had to say.
Okay, your total will be $14.85, please.
This $15 lunch probably cost the shop around 37 to 46 cents in various fees. It adds up, and it's why this place prefers cash.
We have the cash sign so that we don't have to pay fees. We save money.
Some businesses are even starting to implement surcharges, adding around 3% to your bill if you pay by credit card. The processing systems fee is generally fairly low. Then there's the credit card's network fee, around 0.25%. And the largest fee of this system also happens here, the interchange fee. It's usually around 2 to 3%.
Essentially, that fee helps to fund the rewards that we all get when we use our credit cards.
Earn 5% on travel purchased through Chase with Chase Freedom Unlimited.
Someone's paying for that.
Merchants paid banks and other credit card issuers interchange fees set by Visa and MasterCard, roughly $55 billion just last year. They can't choose to not accept a high rewards card because of the fees. If they want to accept any of a network's credit cards, they have to accept all of that network's credit cards.
So you get the idea here is reward systems are well accepted in society, and much like what Marques was talking about, is that these rewards, maybe they don't matter today, or they're valuable today. Realize that this is going to be the case with Web3, and payment is going to be a big part of that because of these merchant fees. Now, Visa has already started moving in this direction around loyalty programming. We did a whole video on that. Go back and check out our Visa video. Just search Visa in our, on our channel. You'll see something there that I think will surprise you in really the direction that Visa is going, mainly because merchant fees are a big factor. Now, you get into Solana Pay, that's where things get interesting, because if you can get enough adoption, especially when you start putting this many phones out there, now it starts to make sense where merchants might say, all right, cash is king or queen in that particular case, but I'll take crypto. I'll take a Solana Pay, or I'll take USDC. That's where I think stablecoin starts to connect to all the dots here. This is the future. If you look at just the growth here, this is the Helium mobile subscribers that are growing right now. You get an NFT when you, of course, subscribe. So you can kind of see the growth there. But look at the mobile pay, unique payments. Again, though it's small, the good thing is this trend line is going up. Now, this is the factor based on the ability and need for the device itself. So that's the big benefit, I think, that are really going to start to shake loose here. I think retail maybe 2-3 years away before we really see a big transition in merchant payment systems going forward. So definitely happening at the right time. Don't forget, there's other things that are happening within the Solana ecosystem. This, of course, is Hivemapper. They've got something going on the February 21st next week. We've had Ariel on a couple of times. I wish he would tell us, but we don't know. But apparently it's going to be a big deal. So could be a partnership. Could be something with their mobile app that they've just recently done, which is kind of like a Waze-style reporting. Remember, Hivemapper, a mapping ecosystem based on Solana. You can earn rewards on it, and you can earn that on your regular phones today. But imagine what that might look like on a Solana Saga. So big deal. I want to get into this thing here because this is the rideshare situation that's happening right now. This is a way for Uber and Lyft drivers to potentially earn even more money. Imagine if they had a phone that had the capability of doing things like hive mapping, also doing things around all these potential airdrop rewards, and then you add the Saga phone on top of it. Granted, you can't get it right now, but because you're gonna have to pay over market for it, because to get one of these is almost impossible. But you could order one, so use our link down below. You could order one and be ready here as soon as this thing drops. whatever it might be, whether it's a phone, a device, a web-connected wallet. We don't know what that is going to be yet, but this could end up being a huge boom to the Uber, the gig worker, anybody that's doing delivery, all that kind of business out there is just added on benefits in terms of airdrops, additional rewards that you gain for mapping, all these different ecosystems. And this is just the scratch of the surface. I think we're going to see so many new dApps that kind of go in this direction. I want to go to a clip real quick. And this clip gets into a little bit more around what's happening with Uber. Listen in.
I think they think we're stupid.
They do.
But they do. They really do. You know, in 24, it's no more being nice. We got to keep up like relentless pressure.
In order for us to get together, turn the apps off, you know it's not going to work because there's some idiot that's going to leave the app on and take, okay, thank you very much. I'm going to work because you're giving me surge. What we were thinking is, you know what? Don't turn the apps off. Leave the apps on. And decline and recline. Decline and recline. Don't even push the X button. You know, let it ping out. Let's mess up their algorithm. What are you thinking about that?
I would say you're right, Chris, and your strategy makes way more sense because, okay, so what? The acceptance rate goes down, surges are going to go up, and, you know, I think you're just going to create a whole bunch of frustrated riders at the end of the day. They see all these cars on the grid, but they're like, damn, why are they not accepting my trip, right? Oh, well, guess what? We don't work for twosies and onesies and threesies anymore.
Yeah. All right. So you get the point. These people are not happy right now with these rideshare companies, and it appears that they are starting to gain a little bit of an upper hand here. If you guys are thinking about taking a rideshare on Valentine's Day, that's when they're planning on doing this, you might want to reconsider. So taxis are going to have a big day in the market in New York and places like that. All right, I want to jump over to a website. This shows you how much you could have earned in your Saga version 1, chapter 1. So think about what this is going to look like in the future. This is just claiming the things that you could have got so far that we know of. These are all airdrops that came in, and current value, all the way in down to Chonky and many of these, you know, and then even the Sol value, even the Klano. I don't know. This just seems like a natural for brands, loyalty club members, you name the kind of business. This is a vehicle into your customer on a true one-to-one basis that prints real value. That, I think, is the future of where mobile is going to be going. I want to show another thing here. We also have a Google Play Store app, but users of that app won't qualify for this campaign. It's linked to the Genesis token. So that's why you've got to be able to get the actual device itself. So it kind of goes in here talking about that whole process of Saga dApps versus the whole process. So make sure, and I mean, this is of course Bonfida talking about some of the benefits of what you gain there. But make sure, this is the time, guys, 48 hours away. If you're going to get one of these devices, now's the time to do it. Let's go over to another. This, of course, is a leaderboard. We're holding number 2 position right now. Come on, people. This is the number 1 Solana channel out there. I feel like it is anyway. We talk about Solana a lot anyway, and we get a lot of flack for that. By the way, we're not sponsored by Solana. They didn't pay us anything for this. The Saga phone doesn't give us anything for this. We just do this because we like Web3. We like what's happening in this technology. We like what's happening with, of course, the Saga phone. So use our link. Get us up on the leaderboard there. Last up here is just a quick one. Of course, these are the 2 big ones. The Genesis Chapter 2 token. And then also there is an additional leaderboard NFT that can get dropped into it, you know, providing you guys are using that. Remember, everybody can be a referrer on this. So you can get your own link. All that stuff starts for you, all right? So make sure and check it out. This is a big, I think this is a big movement in mobile computing. Eventually, I think Marques Brownlee is going to get on the bandwidth, and he's going to bandwagon, and he's going to understand what's really happening here because he's big into loyalty. I think he understands that. And he's also big in giving companies a chance to let their tech become something. I hope that he thinks about it that way. Anyway, if you guys are not tied into our Diamond Circle, make sure and get in right now. It's one of the best places to get additional content. Also, if you guys want to catch me on X, it's @PaulBaron. Catch you next time right here on TechPath.